Also, my fellow colleagues who've made it possible for me to conduct and air to you a number of successful shows from Somalia's premier #1 station here, Dalsan TV. I wish to also thank you, our lovely viewers, for always keeping tabs and choosing Dalsan TV. We'll always bring you juicy and lovely and more captioning and interesting stories here from Dalsan TV. Tonight, we've quite a number of stories prepared for you, lovely viewers. But first, let's take a look at the stories that are making our headlines. Somali forces demolish homes in Hamar Jajab, sparking outcry from residents. Somali Navy chief placed under house arrest on corruption charges. Somali president meets Djibouti counterpart to strengthen regional cooperation. Somali PM vows justice for slain soldiers in Al Baraf attack. Somalia warns against social media incitement as clan conflict continues in several regions. Burundi exits Somalia peacekeeping mission over disagreements on troop allocations. Now let's delve into a full bulletin. Somali government forces conducted a large-scale operation early Monday morning, demolishing homes in the Bula-Wekio neighborhood of Mogadishu's Hamar Jajab district, citing land as a public property. The move has drawn sharp criticism from residents, advocacy groups and observers, spotlighting ongoing tensions over land governance in Somalia. Residents woke up Monday to an unannounced operation by the government forces accompanied by bulldozers to demolish the homes in the neighborhood. Here's a full story. Somali government forces conducted a large-scale operation early Monday morning, demolishing homes in the Bula-Wekio neighborhood of Mogadishu's Hamar Jajab district, citing the land as a public property. The move has drawn sharp criticism from residents, advocacy groups and observers, spotlighting ongoing tensions over land governance in Somalia. Residents woke up on Monday to an unannounced operation by the government forces, accompanied by bulldozers to demolish their homes in the neighborhood. The Somali government has reportedly issued prior warnings to the residents, instructing them to vacate the area, which it claims is public land designated for development projects. However, many residents refused to comply, citing a lack of alternative housing options. The resistance led to a forceful eviction and demolition witnessed today. Government security forces have reportedly cordoned off all access points to the neighborhood early in the morning, deploying a sizable number of police officers to oversee the operation. Bulldozers were seen tearing through residential structures as distraught residents watched helplessly. The demolition of Bula-Wekio is part of the government campaign to reclaim public land that has been occupied informally by civilians. The neighborhood is emblematic of wider challenges in Mogadishu, where rapid urbanization and rising demand for real estates have intensified disputes. Authorities have justified these actions by stating that the land is urgently needed for projects to serve national interest. The Somali government has faced mounting pressure to address land disputes that have plagued the country for decades. Somalia's land governance system remains fragmented, with overlapping claims under statutory. This legal pluralism often leads to conflicting resolutions, leaving vulnerable populations without recourse. Critics have accused the government of selling some of the reclaimed land to private business interests. These allegations have sparked outrage among the affected communities and fueled broader concerns over transparency in public land management. Human rights organizations have also raised concerns about transparency, alleging that the reclaimed land is sometimes sold to private investors. Earlier this month, the Somali National Women's Organization issued a 24-hour ultimatum on Thursday to the Ministry of Women and Human Rights Development, demanding the return of the Women's House in Mogadishu. The organization accuses Minister Bashir Gobe of improperly seizing the historic property, igniting a broader debate about the government's commitment to women's rights. As of this report, the Somali government and its security agencies have not issued an official statement regarding the operation in Bula-Wekio. The Somali government has placed Admiral Abdi Warsame Osman Maalim, commander of the Somali Navy Guard and the Coastal Guard, under house arrest amid investigation into alleged corruption charges. Somali Army Chief General Odawai Yusuf Rage confirmed the decision on Monday, stating that Admiral Osman will remain confined to his home until the inquiry concludes. Somali government has placed Admiral Abdi Warsame Osman Maalim, commander of the Somali Navy and Coast Guard, under house arrest amid an investigation into alleged corruption charges. Somali Army Chief General Odawai Yusuf Rage confirmed the decision on Monday, stating Admiral Osman will remain confined to his home until the inquiry concludes. The specifics of the corruption allegations and the scope of the investigations remain undisclosed, but the moves comes as the Somali government intensifies efforts to rebuild and equip its naval forces to strengthen maritime security. Earlier this year, in April 2024, the federal government suspended and detained several members of the US-trained Danab Commando Unit for stealing rations provided by the United States. The Danab unit is a key component of Somalia's counter-terrorism strategy, with the US pledging over $100 million in February to support construction of 5 military bases for the elite force. Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud met with Djibouti's President Ismail Omar Guelleh on Sunday at the presidential palace in Djibouti to discuss regional security, political developments, and strengthening bilateral cooperation. The two leaders reaffirmed the strong historical ties between their nations and explored strategies to enhance regional stability and solidarity. President Guelleh expressed Djibouti's unwavering support for Somalia's state-building efforts, emphasizing his government's dedication to fostering peace, security, and long-term stability in Somalia. Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud met Djibouti's President Ismail Omar Guelleh on Sunday at the presidential palace in Djibouti to discuss regional security, political developments, and strengthening bilateral cooperation. The two leaders reaffirmed their strong historical ties between their nations and explored strategies to enhance regional stability and solidarity. President Guelleh expressed Djibouti's unwavering support for Somalia's state-building efforts, emphasizing his government's dedication to fostering peace, security, and long-term stability in Somalia. President Mohamud thanked Djibouti for its steadfast support and stressed the importance for strategic collaboration to address mutual challenges and promote regional growth. The meeting comes as Djibouti prepares to contribute troops to Africa Union support operations in Somalia, Dalsan, which will replace the ATMIS mission in January 2025. Both leaders emphasize the critical role of regional cooperation in ensuring the success of Somalia's security, transition, and broader stability of the Horn of Africa. Somali Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre pledged on Monday to rather swift justice for those responsible of killing 6 Somali army soldiers in Al Baraf district of the Middle Shabelle region, describing the act as monstrous and unprecedented in the Somali culture. Somalia's Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre has pledged swift justice for those responsible for the killing of 6 Somali National Army soldiers in the Al Baraf district of the Middle Shabelle region, describing the act as monstrous and unprecedented in Somali culture. The Prime Minister emphasized that the case falls under the jurisdiction of federal government and Hirshabelle state, rejecting the possibility of resolving the matter through familial or tribal negotiations. He stated that the attack is distinct from the ongoing clan conflicts in the country and warrants strict legal punishment. The ambush occurred last week as the soldiers, members of the Hawadle clan, were traveling home to Iran while on leave. Local reports indicate the militia fighters, in a revenge attack, targeted and executed the soldiers by shooting them in the head. The incident has drawn widespread condemnation from Somali leaders, including former and current presidents, religious clerics, and community elders. Calls for peace have intensified as clans conflict have escalated in multiple regions. Somali Ministry of Information issued a stern warning on Monday against individuals using social media to incite clan-based violence as deadly inter-clan conflicts across the several regions in the country. In a statement, the ministry emphasized that the federal government will take strict legal action against those spreading inflammatory content, including videos, pictures, audio clips, and written posts to fuel tensions. Somali Ministry of Information issued a stern warning on Monday against individuals using social media to incite clan-based violence as deadly inter-clan conflicts surges across the country. In a statement, the ministry emphasized that the federal government will take strict legal action against those spreading inflammatory content, including videos, pictures, audio clips, and written posts to fuel tensions. The ministry added that it is actively monitoring social media platforms and media outlets being misused to propagate violence. At the same time, it commended users and outlets spreading positive awareness messages, describing them as exemplary during the turbulent times. Clan conflicts have recently escalated in regions such as the Middle and Lower Shabelle, Mudug, Galgaduud, and Senag, claiming over 100 lives. The violence has prompted widespread condemnation from Somali leaders, including former and current presidents, religious clerics, and community elders who have called for urgent peace efforts. Burundi, a major contributor to the Africa Union peacekeeping forces in Somalia for 17 years, announced on Sunday that it will not participate in the upcoming Africa Union support mission in Somalia, ALSOM, citing disagreements over troop deployment numbers with Somali government. The Somali government on Sunday also expressed deep gratitude to the Burundian peacekeeping forces for their contributions to the security and counterterrorism efforts. Burundi, a major contributor to Africa Union peacekeeping forces in Somalia for 17 years, announced on Sunday that it will not participate in the upcoming Africa Union support mission in Somalia, ALSOM, citing disagreements over troop deployment numbers with the Somali government. The Somali government on Sunday expressed deep gratitude to Burundian peacekeeping forces for their contribution to security and counterterrorism efforts. Somalia's Foreign Minister, Ahmed Moualem Fiqi, lauded the bravery and sacrifices of the Burundian troops, describing their role as pivotal in combating Al-Shabaab and stabilizing the country. Burundi's decision to withdraw follows a failure to reach consensus on troop allocations for the leaner ALSOM framework. Burundi, which once deployed 5,432 troops at the height of AMISOM operations, cited concerns over the limited role it will be allowed to play in the new mission. In December 2024, 734 Burundian troops returned home as part of the second phase of the ATMIS drawdown, mandated by the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2710. On Friday, the United Nations Security Council authorized ALSOM to replace ATMIS, which concludes its mandate at the end of December 2024. ALSOM will deploy up to 12,626 personnel, including 1,040 police officers, to support Somali-led operations against Al-Shabaab, strengthen stabilization efforts, and facilitate humanitarian assistance. Lovely views. That Burundian troop story brings us to the end of our bulletin tonight. I wish to once again thank you for keeping tabs at Dalsan TV. It's been a pleasure to always have you on board for the year. We wish and commit to bring you better and more stories in the coming year 2025. Happy holidays. Have yourselves a lovely new year. I'm your presenter, Abdurrahman Yusuf.